Large, spacious, comfortable, and mechanically German. That's the shortest way to describe this model. The Skoda Superb 2 unfortunately has poor reviews due to its engine range. So the question remains, is this a sufficient reason not to buy it? The engine lineup encompasses everything expected of such a car. Starting with the entry-level 1.4 TSI 125 horsepower petrol engine, which, by the way, performs well in the Superb. The largest engine being the 3.6-liter V6 FSI 260 horsepower. The 1.8 TSI 160 horsepower and 2.0 TSI 200 horsepower petrol engines were supposed to be the sweet spot. The diesel range continued to include the 105 horsepower 1.9 TDI, but only until 2010. It was then replaced by the 1.6 TDI with the same power output. A similar change occurred for the 2.0 TDI engine. Also in 2010, the PD version, 140 horsepower, was replaced with a common rail version, 140 and 170 horsepower. No engine changes were made after the facelift other than the addition of a start and stop system to the diesels and the 1.4 TSI. The Superb was available with 4 transmission options, a 6-speed manual, a classic 6-speed automatic, and 6 and 7-speed DSG automatics. 4-wheel drive was available only with the 1.8 TSI, 3.6 FSI, and 2.0 TDI common rail diesel engines. Which engine to choose? Leaving aside purely technical issues, that is, assuming we're buying a roadworthy car, almost all engines are good. The exception are the 105 HP diesels, which have poor dynamics, but at least consume little fuel. According to user reports, they consume an average of 1 liter less, about 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers, than the 2.0 TDI. However, it's important to remember that the Superb weighs at least 1.5 tons, and in this configuration is more suitable for leisurely or city driving. The best engines are the 2.0 TDIs. They have adequate power and average fuel consumption of 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers. They are very easy to service, and if necessary, you can easily buy a used one. The popularity of these engines is so great that there are no worries about maintenance. Common rail versions were available with both manual and automatic transmissions, as well as optional 4-wheel drive. The 1.8 TSI and 2.0 TSI petrol engines offer excellent dynamics. The latter is particularly impressive with its flexibility and relatively low fuel consumption of around 9 liters per 100 kilometers. The 1.8 TSI consumes only slightly less, but the difference in dynamics is significant. One of the arguments for choosing the 1.8 TSI is the 4-wheel drive, which was not available with the 2.0 TSI. The 3.6 volts 6 is more of an option for enthusiasts of larger engines. Its high fuel consumption, around 10 to 11 liters per 100 kilometers, significantly higher in the city, isn't entirely compensated for by the dynamics. While its performance on paper looks better than the 2.0 TSI, in practice, the differences aren't that significant. Both cars are equipped with an automatic transmission as standard, but the V6 also offers 4-wheel drive. The car's biggest problem from the start was its faulty engines. The negative reviews are fully justified, but the passage of time must be taken into account. It's not worth basing your knowledge on guides written, say, 5 to 8 years ago, because engines that were supposed to die have already done so. Some have had them replaced, others have had them repaired, and still others have been modernized, improved with new parts. Therefore, the Superb 2 can be assessed more favorably today than shortly after production ended. And in my opinion, engines alone shouldn't be relied upon. The 1.8 and 2.0 TSI petrol engines from the EA888 family and the 2.0 TDI-PD diesels were primarily considered faulty. It later turned out that the TDI-CR wasn't flawless either. Cars currently in service have most likely already been repaired. The TSI's pistons and rings had to be replaced. The TDI-PD's cylinder heads were usually cracked, but these no longer crack. Meanwhile, the TDI-CR's lubrication system, specifically the oil pump, was problematic. It's an open secret that the 1.8 TSI engine with the BZB code didn't have faulty piston rings. This engine met the Euro 4 standard, so it was quickly replaced in 2009 with the CDAA and CDAB versions with faulty rings. It's a fact that finding a car from the initial production period is very difficult, so it's assumed that all 1.8 engines are faulty. The cost of a complete engine upgrade kit is approximately €3,500. A timing belt drive, consisting of 3 chains, costs around €1,000, or around €1,600 if the kit includes a water pump. Of course, this doesn't include labor. Occasionally, the engine's intake manifold may crack, or its flaps may fail. The oil separator diaphragm may be damaged. Water pump failures are also known, so it's worth monitoring the fluid level. Virtually all of the above comments also apply to the 2.0 TSI engine, which is a twin design. The only difference is that this engine was not modernized throughout its production run, and there was only one version, designated CCZA. The 1.4 TSI engine required replacement of the timing belt drive, which could stretch after 30,000 to 40,000 kilometers. It's unlikely you'll find an engine without it. Furthermore, the timing chain and entire drivetrain were modified after the facelift, and the engine turned out very well. Replacement parts range from around €800 for just the chain, sliders, and tensioner to around €1,600 for a complete set. Users praise the engine for its fuel consumption of under 8 liters per 100 kilometers, which is an excellent result. And it doesn't lack for pep. The 3.6-liter V6 engine is essentially a VR6 design, meaning it has a single cylinder head. It's generally reliable, but if neglected for long periods, it may require major repairs. It's most sensitive to wear and tear in the areas of cooling and lubrication, so frequent oil changes and a functioning cooling system are key to longevity. This engine has 2 timing chains, but they're not overly complex. A replacement kit costs around €1,000. Direct injection doesn't prevent the installation of an LPG system with a petrol injection system. Let's move on to the diesel engines. The 2.0 TDI PD BMP is primarily considered defective, with its cylinder head cracking. Those that were expected to crack have already cracked. Only in very neglected units can this still happen. The problem was the fuel injector mounting, which was improved in the BKD engine with a 16-valve cylinder head. This diesel engine is as durable as the older 1.9 TDI designs. The problem with the earlier 2.0 TDI and the later common rail versions, 170 HP version, was a faulty oil pump design, which required repairs and periodic inspections, especially when replacing the timing belt. After the 2013 facelift, all 2.0 TDIs received improvements that made them very durable and less reliable. The 1.9 TDI engine with the BLS designation is known for its DPF filter problems. Users have solved the problem by taking matters into their own hands and removing the emergency device. If you're concerned about the DPF filter and the 1.9 TDI engine, a thorough vehicle inspection may be necessary. The 1.6 TDI engine is theoretically a twin of the 2.0 TDI CR, but less resistant to failure. Generally, it's not worth buying such a car anyway. Manual gearboxes and four-wheel drive systems are beyond reproach. Regular oil changes are essential for both the gearbox and the Haldex clutch, and after higher mileage, the Haldex clutch mechanism may require servicing. The situation is worse with DSG automatic transmissions, which all operate on a double clutch and have dual-mass flywheels. They can be prone to mechatronic issues, and after approximately 200,000 kilometers, the clutch assembly needs replacing. The most vulnerable is the 7-speed gearbox, available only with the 1.8 TSI engine until 2010. Its lifespan before the first overhaul is estimated at around 200,000 kilometers. It's worth checking the transmission's condition before purchasing a car by connecting it to a diagnostic computer. If you buy a car from 2011 onwards, you can expect a longer DSG transmission, and if the car has been facelifted, with a bit of luck, you might find a classic Eisen automatic transmission with excellent durability. The 6-speed DSG gearbox is more durable and less problematic, But it should be remembered that it is more heavily loaded, higher engine torque, so it may also cause problems during very dynamic driving. The body is well protected against corrosion, and the paint is quite durable, although its condition varies at the joints, such as where the rear fenders meet the bumper. The worst-looking trim pieces are usually those that resemble chrome. The paint is peeling off them. The same thing happens to the interior, which can look terrible after years of use. This isn't always due to extensive carelessness. The Superb is simply much less durable than the Passat. The car's electrical system is quite sensitive, especially the comfort system wiring. This can cause the rear-view mirror, power windows, tailgate lighting, and twin door mechanism to malfunction. Headlight failures are also common.